Mr.
I
Speaker.
call Jenny Salisa, 5 minutes.
Thank you for this call on the social reform mandate bill, Mr. Speaker. The Labour Party strongly opposes this bill for very good reason. Labour supports the Kiwi dream, Mr. Speaker. The Kiwi dream includes growing up in a country where our children have a roof over their heads, where all of our children can hope to one day own their own homes. It's pretty simple, really. Our people don't ask for very much: a job to do, somewhere to live, someone to love, and something to hope for. That is the Kiwi dream, in the words of Norman Kirk, Mr. Speaker. But under this national government, the Kiwi dream is slipping away. We have an economy that is stacked in favour of the rich and the privileged few, while everyday New Zealanders are finding it harder and harder just to get by each day. Under this national government, Mr. Speaker, we have an entire generation who have been locked out of the dream of owning their own homes. Around 1937, mainly as a result of the Depression, the Prime Minister at the time, a Labour Prime Minister, Michael Joseph Savage, began to build state houses on a large scale in the history of New Zealand for the very first time. Why? Because he cared. Because the people of New Zealand at the time, Mr. Speaker, they needed to be housed. There was a huge need for housing at that time, and the government of the day stepped in. They stepped in because they cared enough. If this government cared enough, Mr. Speaker, they could do something about this. If this government had the political will to address one of the biggest issues of today, which is housing, they can step in and do something to solve this problem. Now, fast forward 80 years to today, 2016. The number one issue of today is still housing. The number one issue that I see, families coming to my office in Otara, South Auckland, asking for my help, is housing. Families who do not have a house. So many MPs in this House have the same issue. My colleague Meka Whaitiri has just spoken about how 90% of the people that come to her office is to do with housing. Mr. Speaker, last Friday, I had a Māori family, 9 children. They are just about to be evicted. They are just about to be made homeless. They came seeking my help. Last Friday, on the same day, another Māori family, a mum with 4 kids, they have been homeless for 2 years, Mr. Speaker. They have been on the waiting list, on that waiting list, off the waiting list, on the waiting list again, and off the waiting list. And this time, they've been on that waiting list for 3 months. Still, they are homeless, moving from garage to garage. We've also been helping a baby, less than 12 months old, Mr. Speaker. This baby has spent half of her life, 6 months, in hospital, mainly in NICU. So you see, Mr. Speaker, we collectively as a society, we collectively still pay. When people are homeless, we pay one way or another, whether it's for the hospital bill of this baby, 6 months in a hospital, or whether it's for educational facilities when families move from school to school, or whether it's for justice, Mr. Speaker, we still pay. Why don't we just do the decent thing, which is to provide housing? I hear my colleagues on the other side saying, yes, we need more houses. I heard Minister Nick Smith yesterday saying, yes, we need more houses, and yes, we need more quality houses. Will this bill, this social bill, will it actually end up with giving us more state houses? No, of course not. Will it actually give us more good quality houses for the state? No, of course not. It will end up in the private sector, because what this bill does is it allows the Minister of Finance, Minister English, and the Social Housing Minister, Paula Bennett, to have unfettered powers. It enables them to bypass the normal way, bypass the public servants. This bill allows them the personal power to conduct any negotiations, strike any deal, sell these state houses to whomever they wish. Mr. Speaker, I leave the House on this note. The departmental disclosure statement
Sorry,
said
the
there are no
member's
direct
time has
precedents.
expired.